5 months ago, I bought the Google Pixel 6, and there's a lot of positives, and I love the phone, but there's a lot of negatives that completely pull me away from the phone. I'm gonna start out with the positives. So when I got this phone, I wanted it for the pure Android experience. I thought that was gonna be the best, smoothest thing to have on a phone. That's what a lot of other people think, and at this point, I'm just not sure why. It's a lot more glitchy than my Galaxy, which is what I'm switching from. It has a lot less features that I used on a daily basis when I had Galaxy that I really miss. I just think One UI is way better in every way, shape, and form. However, the voice to text on the Google Pixel is so far above any iPhone, any Galaxy phone, any phone I can possibly think of. It is completely on point. It is alien how good it is. Honestly, that's one thing that makes me not even want to switch the phone. I want to keep it around just for that. You know, if you want to take a voice memo, even while you have no data connection, you can be in airplane mode. You can pull it out, make a perfect transcript, as long as you're not really just talking like this, completely mumbling, you know. It's gonna pick up every single thing you say perfectly with like 90 to 85% accurate punctuation as well, which is super useful, and have a perfect transcript. Voice to text, amazing. You will absolutely not regret it. There's no way you can regret having that as a tool, because again, phones are tools. So which tool is better? Well, as a tool, especially someone who might take voice memo type of notes, that is the most superior voice memo tool you will ever have to date as of 2022, April. Another useful tool for someone like me who has dyslexia and has a super hard time reading is its ability to read an article for me. However, there's ups and downs, because it'll read an article for me, yes, but half the articles that exist, it basically won't read. If it has any type of paywall, Google just won't read it. Sometimes for whatever reason, there's a glitch and it just won't read the article, so that's not fun. However, it's useful. Most of the time I go onto the Google News page on my Pixel and it'll read most of those articles. If you use the Newsmax app or whatever it's called, it won't read those articles. So that sucks. Another cool feature is that it'll hold calls for you on businesses. So you can be on the phone with a business. They want to put you on hold for 10 minutes. You don't got to sit there and listen to that stupid music. It'll hold for you. But the thing is it doesn't really hold for you. I think of it as a mute button, and it'll let you know when someone comes online. Google Assistant will answer the phone for you. But you know, you think the way people talk about it is it'll hold for you, and then you can go do literally whatever you want. You could go watch a YouTube video. You could maybe take a different phone call. You could maybe have it read an article to you. No, you can't do none of that. It basically just acts as a mute button, so you don't have to hear that annoying music. And then you'll know when a human is on the line, which is nice, but it's not as like smart as people say it is, you know. And unfortunately, that's basically it for the positives. The rest are all negatives, aside from the camera. I find it really annoying because you open up a tech review, or a phone review, I mean, on YouTube, and basically half the review is people talking about the cameras. Like, come on people, these are phones, not cameras. So I'm gonna try to stick to a minimum talking about the camera. But everyone knows Google has the best cameras, so nothing changed there. However, Galaxy and even Apple are catching up quite a bit. It's almost so close that it's a personal preference. However, if you want to get technical, Google is still the best one. Okay, so now on to the negatives. So one more quick camera thing is that the camera actually doesn't have a pro mode, which if you're coming from a Galaxy phone, that is, you know, that's super useful, especially since Google has the best camera, in my opinion. I think technically that's true still, although like I said, other phones are catching up. A pro mode would be super fun to take advantage of, and it just doesn't have that. It doesn't even have simple things like letting us take advantage of all the megapixels in this camera. You know, it's only default at 12. So I just find that completely silly. It wouldn't hurt Google to just throw that in there, you know? I just don't even understand that. The Reminders app on this Google doesn't work. And I remember I had a conversation with my mom who uses an iPhone. And apparently you guys don't have a working Reminders app either. It like reminds you of stuff, but you have to go into the app to look. Well, that's not what I want a Reminders app to do. That's stupid. I want it to send me a push notification of what I need done, of what I wanted at the specific time I wanted it. If I want to do that, I have to go all the way into calendar and set the time. Look, on my Galaxy, I would swipe left, press reminder, jot down the reminder I had, press save, put the time I want, whatever, press save, and it's done. On this, I have to open up the calendar. I have to find my date, because it always looks weird when you open calendar. Find the time, press plus. It's so many extra steps. An ADD person like me will will get to those steps, get to the keypad to write in the reminder, and forget what I was gonna write. Honestly, that's almost a deal-breaking feature for someone like me who has trouble remembering stuff. It's almost a complete deal breaker for me, and it's another reason why I want to switch back to Galaxy. Another thing is the battery life. I feel like Google was lying, especially about the battery life. They claim, and even other tech reviewers claim, that this phone has an amazing battery life. And I guess maybe that's true for some people, but for me, it's just terrible battery life. Absolutely awful. I notice if I'm only doing one thing at all, then it'll have good battery life. But even then, it's not good. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm at work, and even just doing that, just streaming audio, sometimes it's even downloaded. Pre-downloaded audio will drain my battery. That's ridiculous. There's no reason that should drain my battery. YouTube Premium, I've noticed even on my other phone it did that, so I think that's a YouTube thing. But even you can't tell me it's a Spotify thing, because even on Spotify it does that. Maybe it is just a YouTube and Spotify thing, and if it is, there's nothing I can do about it then. However, I feel like it's a device issue. So this next one isn't so much a problem right now, but when I first got the phone, for sure, I would have no data connection for hours and hours at a time. I would restart my phone and everything, still no connection. I'd restart it like 3 times, finally connection would come through. And then the next day it would happen all over again. I think they've come out with updates now where this doesn't happen anymore, but it still has happened. The most recent one was about 3 weeks ago at this point, so. But you know, nobody should have to wait for updates. Like, you just got this phone. Stuff like that, you shouldn't have to go, oh, well, they'll fix it in an update. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. If your device isn't complete, don't release it yet. So yeah, that's just silly. However, it is something that's been fixed, so for the most part it seems. So this is something even MKBHD talked about. The notification panel glitches. It still does at least once a week. More recently, in the beginning and more recently, it glitches at least once a day. For example, my music player won't show up. I'll have to restart my phone to get it to show up. Sometimes all my notifications will just disappear. That one hasn't happened in a long time. I think they fixed it, but you know, why do we have to wait for updates for stuff like this to get fixed? It's ridiculous. Once a week still, there will be some sort of glitch that happens, and it's annoying. Another thing is the system UI will just completely stop working out of nowhere, and it basically requires a phone restart each time this happens. Or I'll have to lock my phone, wait like a minute or two, and then unlock it, and it'll be good. And each time that happens, the fingerprint sensor doesn't work as well as it should be, I've noticed. Another thing. Same with the touch screen, will sometimes just randomly start not working. And I think I know what that is. I think it's from Replash. Google Pixel, I think it's just Android in general, the new Android, has Replash built into it where you can have it do a new random wallpaper every 12 hours, every 1 hour, every day, every week. I had mine set on once an hour for a little bit, and I think each time it switches a wallpaper, the system UI would just stop working, or the touchscreen would just stop working. And I mean, I guess maybe that's a Replash thing, Maybe it's an Android thing, maybe it's both, maybe it's a Pixel thing, but either way, it's something I noticed and it shouldn't be a thing. It's kind of, I guess you can say it's a small nitpick, but replash is a feature. If you want to use it, it should work. So you shouldn't have to deal with that. Just something I think is worth noting. I don't think it's just replash. Sometimes it would stop working for no reason as well. Also, something that's really disappointing is my Google Assistant seems worse on this phone than on my Galaxy S10. I'll ask a question and then I'll ask a follow-up question, but she just doesn't hear me. This is like super frustrating. Another deal-breaking thing for me.
So why do I prefer Samsung? Why do I prefer Galaxy? Well, I think One UI is just better than pure Android. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I don't understand the hype over the pure Android experience. To me, it doesn't make any sense, and to me, it was a fail. It was an L. I like the Galaxy experience, which is Android, with One UI on top of it, you know. I like the Edge panel. I like being able to access my brightness real quick, you know, on top, right once I slide down my panel. You know, the other thing is the Galaxy display. The Galaxy display is just so far superior than any other phone. It's ridiculous, man. It's like, it's very accurate to the colors. So as a photographer, I very much prefer that, you know. As someone who likes to try to enjoy content as it was intended as much as I can, you know, that's a huge advantage. It has the highest quality display on any phone, at least that's sold in the US. China has some really good phones, but we don't have access to those, unfortunately. Another reason for me personally, and I know I can't be the only one, is the Edge panel was an extremely useful tool for me. Like I said, your phone is a tool. Little stuff like that you use every day, some people call a gimmick. Well, like Flossie Carter says,
anything is a gimmick if you don't use it. Don't let people with the Apple Pencil tell you that, oh, all of that wop wop, that's a gimmick. It's only a gimmick for two reasons: if you don't use it or you don't have it. When you don't have something and somebody else does, oh, that's a gimmick. I don't need a Rolls Royce, that's a gimmick. I'm good with my Honda Civic, that's a gimmick. If you don't have something, it's a gimmick. Or if you don't use it. Right? If you have something and you don't use it, it's a gimmick.
It's only a gimmick if you don't use it, right? Well, I definitely use that way more often than even I realized I used it. You know, convenience is everything. You walk into a convenience store, everything is like at least 33.33% more expensive than it needs to be. Just because it's a convenience fee, you know? You're walking in, it's convenience, right? Coffee stands overprice their coffee. Everyone knows coffee's pretty expensive. Why? Part of it is a convenience thing. Trust me, I get it. There's more factors to it, all right? But you get what I'm saying here. Convenience is something you pay for a lot. Convenience is something you can really take it for granted, or you can really appreciate it. But I'd like you to look back at my positives. These are all software things that can be implemented into any Android phone, especially a Galaxy phone. And so Marquez Brownlee brought up how there's some features on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, well, just the S22 series in general, that aren't even on the Pixel. They're exclusive to just Galaxy. And it got me thinking, I'm over here not liking Pixel, but I like the Galaxy for all the reasons I've stated. You know, Google keeps coming up with good phones that people want, but they keep falling short for whatever reason, right? So my suggestion is that Google, you tried hard, you did good. Just, I'm not even saying give up, I'm saying just understand your weaknesses. You feel what I'm saying? Partner up with Galaxy. All right, Google, find out some partnership to have with Galaxy. Put all your exclusive Google stuff on Galaxy phones. You know, figure out how to get the voice assistant, the voice recognition as good as it is on the Pixel onto the Galaxy. I'm not a super big tech geek, but apparently that's got to do with the Tensor chip, so I don't know if you can fit that into a Galaxy phone, you feel what I'm saying? But figure it out, man. Figure it out, because I think Galaxy and Google teaming up would be like the ultimate phone. It would create the best phone, and I think a lot of people would agree with me when I say that. You know, imagine all these great Google features on a Galaxy phone, like Galaxy hardware. Even the One UI experience, that's anecdotal, but in my opinion, it's just a lot better. You feel what I'm saying? Imagine all that combined. All the good from Pixel without the bad on the Galaxy devices. I think would just make it so much better. I think it would shoot these Galaxy phones at least up to number one, but at least they'll get to eat off the plate of Galaxy and by partnering with them, you know, and then they'll be able to become number one. Anyways, let me know what you think about that in the comments or anything else I said. I hope you found this video useful, and please remember to drop a like, leave your thoughts in the comments. All that stuff helps me out. I hope you have a good day, and peace.